A billionaire gets married and no one comes to see him, and a woman who knows she'll be cursed to die tonight, but still she marries the man she loves. Late at night, a gust of wind blew. Annie's cup suddenly falls to the ground. She felt bad, but she pretended to be calm and comforted Jack. She said she was just trying to sleep. On the other side, her best friend, worried about Annie's safety, so she called Mike and told him the truth. Mike listened and found his sister. He told her to tell him where Annie was. When she didn't tell him, he threatened her with evidence. He threatened to tell Jack about their plot. Forced to reveal Annie's location, Anna has no choice. Mike rushed to the car. In the meantime, Anna called her mother, but the woman didn't panic. She looked like she had it all figured out. A puff of smoke drifted by. The two men fell asleep in a daze, and inside the room, the two of them clinged to each other, fearing that if they let go, they would lose each other, unaware that the female ghost had arrived. On the other side, Grandma Annie's dream about the ghost. It turns out that grandmother was the bride who was killed by a female ghost. Early the next morning, Jack is awakened by a nightmare. He dreamed that Annie was being manipulated by a female ghost. He immediately rushed out to look for her, and sure enough, Annie was walking unconsciously towards the edge of the cliff. Suddenly, her eyes opened, looking into the abyss before her, knowing that her time had come. Tears of despair were left in her eyes. Then the ghost approached her slowly, but he said that Annie would not die. The curse was just a test of their true love. The ghost said that although she had passed the test, but it was the people around Annie who were in real danger. In the end, the ghost offered her hand in blessing, and she disappeared. Annie turned to see Jack, who was searching for her. The two of them clinged to each other. On the other side, Anna's mother woke up, just in time to see Mike, who had arrived overnight. He arrived at the cottage where they were staying, but there was no one there. He came to the back of the hill. He saw Annie and Jack, knocked unconscious by his mother's secretary. Jack saw Anna when they came down. The mother came forward to apologize. The woman said she would take Annie back. Before leaving, Annie wanted to tell Jack who she really was, only to be interrupted by a phone call. It turns out that Jack's grandmother has collapsed and is in hospital, and asked him to bring his fiancée to see her. But the woman says that out of respect for her elders, Annie had to go home and change her clothes, and told Jack to go on his own. And Mike saw his stepmother's car leaving when the woman arrived at the hospital door. But then she suddenly turned the tables. She said Annie's job was done, that she could disappear from the scene. Annie tries to fight back and struggle. The woman threatened her grandmother's life and her best friend's. He had to give in, but Mike, who was behind him, saw the scene. He followed him quietly. The woman marched into the hospital with a dominant stride. Anna was already waiting. Mother and daughter smiled smugly. Jack saw his new wife again, but